Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news here at KC24. A tornado warning has been issued for portions of Fresno County. Here's the radar, and you can see the red area where the tornado warning applies, but it's this cell. Here's the city of Fresno. Here's downtown Fresno, and if we look off to the west, we can see the cell itself. It is coming our direction. So this, from the National Weather Service at 2:19, they've issued a tornado warning for southwestern Madera and County and central Fresno County in central California until 2:45 p.m. At 2:19, a confirmed tornado was located over Biola, 9 miles west of Fresno, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Damaging tornado. Law enforcement confirmed the tornado with flying debris and dangerous to those caught and without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Stay with me. You know what, Dino? Take this full. Can you do that? And I want to change something. This is the live radar showing exactly where it is. All right, bear with me, folks, because this is, I'm going to change a picture because we happen to have it on our camera. And this is just going to take me a moment to find the camera location. Let's see. Sorry about that, folks. I know I have this on a live video. Here we go. Here we go. 1 second. Yeah. This is showing our ValleyCam networks. I already got the ad on there for you. If we look straight ahead, you see the darkness off into the distance, and I'm going to be able to change that camera view briefly. Again, sorry, this is on the fly, folks. A tornado warning was issued for portions of Fresno County. If I get in a little bit closer, right on that area, and then I zoom in, this is the spot that we're talking about, and you can see the darkness of the cloud that has been extending a little bit further south. Let me move the camera a little bit over. There we go. So both of these cells, do you see these sections that are reaching a little bit closer to the ground? So let's see. Oh, it's hard to draw that for you. All right, Dino, pop me back up on 98. So here's what we're talking about. This is the area where we're dealing with the tornado. One of these cells reached all the way to the ground. Now, I don't see they're reaching to the ground now, but just because I don't see it reach all the way to the ground doesn't mean that the tornado itself isn't actually touching. Sometimes these clouds will have a space between that and the ground, and it's still wind moving, but you'll see debris start to come up. Now, this is over towards Biola, so our camera's close to the airport. This is a good distance away, and so it's going to be very difficult to be able to see whether or not that's a debris cloud or the debris is going to be kicked up at the ground from this distance. All right, go take that back full, Dino, and I'm going to go back to the radar and show you exactly where this cell has been moving for the last few minutes. All right, here we go. This is showing us over the last 6 hours, and when we get to the right now moment, let me get in a little bit closer. This is the cell right by Fresno, and you can even see, oh boy, it's textbook. When you get a tornado rotation, you actually have sometimes a hook that goes around, and do you see this shape right here? This is the section that we're talking about. Even though there's some hail outside of that, right by Biola, this is the area that we're talking about. So this is Biola, so it's out on Shaw Avenue, extended well past 99. Let me erase that and get those drawings out of the way and get in a little bit closer still. Right in here. And I also want to drop out the warning boxes. There we go. There we go. We pop those up. And I don't want them. So, all right, so that gray area, this is the spot that we're talking about. Again, this is right by Biola. It looks like it's just a little bit to the north where we're dealing with it. But this, any area in this that we're looking at right now, we could be dealing with a tornado that is on the ground. So this is from the National Weather Service. We have a confirmed tornado from law enforcement. And so we're looking at the potential for some severe weather. And all right, I'm going to go take a look at that camera again. I've changed the angle a little bit. Oh gosh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry to Table Mountain. I'm going to delete the, there it is again. All right, goodness. Dean, come back here. Yeah, that might be it. That might be a small rope tornado. It's hard to see in the distance. Go ahead and take it full so you can see it a little bit better. We're looking at, again, the potential for tornado. It's a distance away from us, so it's hard to tell with our camera at this distance, but definitely severe weather. So again, 2:19 is where the warning came out. from the National Weather Service, a tornado warning. Law enforcement confirmed the existence of said tornado. This is out in the Biola area, and so it's until 2:45 that we have our tornado warning. The area is for southwestern Madera County in central California, and also in Fresno, and obviously in Fresno County. That's where Biola is. I'm going to go back to the radar again and reload that. Here we go. And I'm going to click on the Now button and show exactly where it is, and we're going to get in a little bit closer. The system itself, if we look back, as I'm changing things, sorry, this just takes a moment for me to change some of these things. If I'm going to read, this is only in the last hour, all right? And so that white that shows up, that's cloudiness, it's a cloudiness error that's showing up, so just going to have to forgive me. I wonder if I can just delete that because we don't even want to look at the cloudiness anymore. There we go. All right. Let's save that, and there we go. In the last couple of moments, do you see that hook? If we get in a little bit closer still, you can see how that hook develops just to the south of Biola. The system itself is moving to the northwest. Looks like about 15 miles per hour, and so that means our friends in the Madera Ranchos, it is headed your way. I am going to very quickly text my wife and let her know. Yeah, so folks, you just bear with me for a moment. Way. All right, got it. And so anybody that's up in the Ranchos area, let's see, this is Golden Valley Unified. This is it Liberty High School? That's over in the Madera Ranchos area. So that's by 2:52. That is 20 minutes from now. I suspect that may collapse by that time, but even then, severe weather could be coming your way in the form of some nasty hail. So be on the lookout for that. Let me go back to, I'm just going to keep popping back and forth between this and the, hang on. Sorry, oh, graphics are giving me a hard time. There we go. There it is again. All right, do you see that shelf cloud? That is pretty significant. All right, coming back to me, Dino. What we're looking at here, this protrusion coming out of the cloud, this is where the rotation is the tightest. I don't see anything reaching all the way to the ground now, but this is definitely going to be some hail in this area, and then moving a little bit further to the north. Stay right here for a second, and what I'll do is I'll take the camera and I'll zoom out a little bit more and see if I can get a wider view. And there we go. I'm also going to tilt that camera a little bit further to the north. Okay, that's still the part that I'm looking at. This is what we call a shelf cloud, and this is the one that can protrude out and then give you actually the tornado. So again, this is just to the north of Biola. Our camera's all the way out by the airport, and so we're looking at what, 10 or 15 miles distance, and so I can see the showers that are starting to blur the view a little bit. But from this distance, I can't make out a tornado that actually is reaching all the way to the ground. From the National Weather Service, 2:19, tornado warning came out, and they said that it was viewed by law enforcement. So trusted eyeballs saw one that was on the ground that was kicking up debris. So this is around Biola, so this is areas of Shaw Avenue and areas further northward. So that would actually, if I would be guessing, that would be this one over here. And so this might be the backside of that, where we might see some things that will be spinning away. Sometimes we call it cell splitting, so we can see two of them that start to pop up. Right now, it doesn't look like it's actually doing that. If we get in a little bit closer, this loop is 1 hour's worth of radar. Let me slow that speed down a little bit so we can see what we're looking at. There we go. And you see the hail? Okay, the good news is that big blob of hail got big, and now it's starting to shrink. So that's an indication that things are going to be backing off a little bit. Let me redraw that line and show you that it looks like it's going to be, yeah, about 15 miles per hour. So it's still just in about 20 minutes, a little less than that. Madera Ranchos, you're next with getting some of that heavy rain that's moving through. There is a lot of agriculture. This is they got a Madera wine trail in the same area. So anybody that's in the Madera Ranchos area and all around, you want to be careful. Take cover now. Go inside. Get into an interior room. Be away from windows. And then find something to cover yourself up with, either a nice thick blanket or even a mattress. But be inside, lowest floor of whatever building that you're in, away from all windows. until the danger has passed. And it looks like that'll be about 20 minutes from now for areas like Biola. The system itself has been pushing away to the north of the San Joaquin River. Come back over here, come back to me live, Dino. So this dark squiggly line, that is the San Joaquin River. And so this is Biola, this is Shaw Avenue extending out. And so the center of where the hail was biggest is now starting to shrink. So hopefully this whole thing is starting to back off just a little bit. But it is still moving to the northwest at about 15 miles per hour. So Madera Ranchos, that's about 250. And I'll be honest with you, I live right about here. So I'm worried for my own family. And if you guys are watching, just be safe. Stay inside. As I said, lowest floor, interior room, away from windows, and then if you can be next to if you know that it's a load-bearing wall, you know, one of the stronger walls, be next to that, and then cover your head, a mattress to cover yourself, or a large blanket or something like that, and stay inside until this danger has passed. I'll read it again. This is from the National Weather Service at 2:19. They issued a tornado warning, southwestern Madera County and central Fresno County, although the whole thing is moving off away from Fresno County now. It's until 2:45 p.m. At 2:19, a confirmed tornado was located over Biola, 9 miles west of Fresno, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. That's what I drew right there. The damaging tornado is a potential. The source was from law enforcement that confirmed the tornado. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles can occur. Tree damage likely. The tornado will be near Fresno around 2:25 p.m. It's moving up to the north and away from Fresno. So the city of Fresno itself, I suspect, is safe from this, but it's to the north. Right now, it's pretty well contained into Madera County. Just the last little edge of it is still right along the San Joaquin River, and it's crossing the 99 as we speak. So make sure that, that if you're intending on driving 99, just hold off for a minute and let this whole thing pass. So again, tornado warning right now headed for the Madera Ranchos area. It looks like it's going to be missing the city of Madera. It had some heavier rain just in the last hour, but that passed off. Biola had the tornado that was confirmed by law enforcement. The hail is starting to weaken. That's the one bit of good news that we're going to pull from this, is that it is starting to already collapse in on itself, but it is going to be still headed towards the Madera Ranchos. Let me go back and switch to the camera and see where we're at. All right. I still see some protrusions coming out. I'm going to move the position of that camera again. I'm going to look a little bit further to the north. Yeah, this is going to be more and more difficult to see because there's heavy rain associated with it. And that rain, this is what all this dark gray is. It's going to be blocking my view. Could there be a tornado on the ground in all of this gray? Yeah, possibly. We call that being rain wrapped, and so it really obscures the view and doesn't allow us to see it. So all this area, again, around Biola, it looks like it's passing through the area now, headed towards the Madera Ranchos. Let's go back again, look at radar. Sorry to be repetitive, but sometimes this stuff is worth repeating. This is the last hour. It says 6 hours. It's been just the last hour. Let me get in a little bit closer and let's click it to just now. All right. And okay, the good thing. Did you see that gray blob that was there previously and now it's missing? The gray blob indicates hail. Now the radar from the National Weather Service in Hanford is not picking up hail. It's still plenty of heavy rain. We still have the hook. We still have rotation that's going along with this storm. It's still headed for the Madera Ranchos, so it still could put something back down on the ground, but a lack of hail indicates a weakening storm. And so we'll take that as good news right now. But it's going to be heading up through the Madera Ranchos and then very likely over towards Friant, maybe just up around what we call Four Corners, which is the intersection of Highway 145 and 41, where there's a stoplight there going up towards Yosemite National Park, Oakhurst, Chancey, Coarse Gold, those communities. So this system itself, relatively small, but headed for the Madera Ranchos area even as we speak. Still got about, Dino, let's stick with it until the tornado warning actually expires. And so I'm just going to rehash. Let me find the watches and warnings. There it is. There's that red box. Do you see that red box? That is, and a new one. Okay, a new one just appeared. Let's see what that one is. That is a new event. Okay, guess what, Dino? We're not going off at 2:45. This was EAS activation requested. Tornado warning for southwestern Madera in central California, northwestern Fresno at 2:37. A confirmed tornado was near Biola, 8 miles northwest of Fresno, moving at northeast at 15 miles per hour. Clovis North High School. Okay. Shelter in place for Clovis North High School. Can you read that out loud to me, Dino? And I'll repeat it. Is it? Okay, shelter in place warning, that comes to us from our general manager at Clovis North High School. Shelter in place at Clovis North High School. Very likely related to this. Notice there are 2 boxes here. I'm going to click on one and it gives it an outline. And it says tornado warning, right? All right, so I'm going to erase that. They both are tornado warnings. But the second one, that one is reaching a little bit further into northern Fresno. So we did get our shelter in place warning for, Dino, I forgot the high school already. Clovis North? Thank you, Clovis North. Okay, got it. All right. Tornado, okay, here's the new information. The tornado will be near Fresno and Bonadelli Ranchos, Madera Ranchos are around 240. That is 1 minute from now. The other locations impacted by this tornadic and thunderstorm include Friant. The tornado is on the ground. And take cover now. Move to an interior basement or a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Motorists should not take shelter under highway overpasses. The function is that it turns it into a wind tunnel, so that's not a safe place either. If you cannot drive safely away from the tornado, as a last resort, either park your vehicle, stay put, or abandon your vehicle, lie down in a low-lying area and protect yourself from flying debris. All right, so, well, this was just looking like a mess on the graphics. Let me go back to the camera. All right, there it is again, and okay, I can see it a little more clearly. Dino, come back out here. May not be as easy to see, but right here you can see. All right, I can see actually some movement in these clouds. So a little less rain is allowing me to see it. Some of that is extending a little bit lower to the ground. When these thunderstorms happen, they just sit right down on the ground where we have what we call a shelf cloud, and then the funnel cloud is an even tighter circle, and it comes out of that. And I think I might have just seen a piece of debris off into the distance. It's hard to tell with this. Dino, take it full again. All right, so a tornado warning. We can see the storm that is producing this tornado from our camera on top of our building. Let me zoom out just a little bit, and I'm going to move it a little bit further to the north again. Okay, some of it's still what we call rain wrapped, but I can still see some areas where those clouds are reaching a little bit lower to the ground and producing, yeah, it's hard to tell whether or not it's reaching the ground all the way here from this perspective, but it certainly could be. And so we got word from law enforcement originally that there was a tornado on the ground. But the tornado warning that was issued originally at 2:19 has been re-upped at 2:37, and it's until 3 p.m. tonight. Forgive me, I got to take a drink of water occasionally. So a confirmed tornado was located originally at Biola, 8 miles northwest of Fresno, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. Damaging tornado is the hazard. Law enforcement's the one who saw it. Flying debris could be dangerous. The tornado is expected to be Fresno, Bonadelli Ranchos, Madera Ranchos now. Expected to be here now. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Friant. To repeat, tornadoes on the ground. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows if you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle. Move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. A shelter-in-place order was also issued for Clovis North. Till further notice, when that's released, we'll let you know. Oh, Matt, is that all you have?
That's all I have so far.
Okay. And you let me know when it's if it's released. Thank you. All right. So I'm just shouting at our general manager who gave us that information a moment ago. Motorists should not take shelter under a highway overpass if you cannot drive safely away from the tornado. As a last resort, either park your vehicle and stay put, or abandon your vehicle and lie down in a low-lying area and protect yourself from flying debris. Let me go back to. I think. Oh, yeah. There we go. There's our radar. All right. So again, this is showing us the last loop of an hour. I'm going to freeze it to what is happening right now. And the area in question is this cell that is just to the north of the San Joaquin River. Let me go. I'm going to change the perspective here a little bit. Folks, hang on. This is just going to take 1 second. There we go. Tilt that up a little bit. Now it's looking like a little more of a flat map that I can use. All right. Did you see that dark area that popped up as the radar sweep came by? That's the area where the rain is the heaviest, and it's actually kind of making a little T shape. So this is the area where the rain and the potential rotation is the heaviest. And so this is now fully in Madera County. The entire system itself is moving to the northeast at 15 miles per hour. So this one should now show up with Friant. Yeah, 322 Friant is when this will actually arrive. Hopefully by that time it'll weaken to just a plain old thunderstorm, but it's still going to be pretty active for a while. Madera Ranchos area, my people. This is where we're dealing with a severe thunderstorm and a tornado warning. I'll repeat from earlier this afternoon, but a new warning came out at 2:37. A tornado warning for south central Madera in central California, northwestern Fresno County in central California until 3 p.m. At 2:37, a confirmed tornado was located near Biola at 8 miles northwest of Fresno, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. A damaging tornado is the hazard. Sources from the law enforcement, they confirmed the tornado. Flying debris, that's going to be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or even destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. The tornado will be, it looks like it's going to be in the Madera Ranchos area right now. What we call Madera Ranchos is pretty wide. Bonadelli Ranchos goes all the way up to Highway 145. And then, of course, we've got the new Riverstone communities that are closer here. Excuse me, folks. They're closer to 41. So all of this area is definitely at risk. There's a lot of agriculture out there, but there's also a lot of homes. So take cover now. Get inside. Other locations are going to be Friant. Obviously, a little bit later on, but it's going to be heading that direction. The precautions. It's a tornado. They were saying it's on the ground. Take cover now. Move to a basement of an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you're outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Motorists should not take shelter under a highway overpass. What happens is it funnels the wind and actually makes it faster under that overpass. So if you can't safely drive away from a tornado, as a last resort, either park your vehicle, stay put, or abandon your vehicle. You got a live camera? Take it. This is what, okay, so this is 41 at Children's Boulevard, and let's see if I can get my bearings. Okay, this one's southbound, this one's northbound. All right, and so the radar, yeah. Okay, so according to this camera, the storm is still that way. It's a little off camera. So these people are okay going this way. These people I worry about. Those guys should turn around. So anyway, this is not, this camera isn't pointed where we're looking. So give me my radar back. And yeah, there, thanks. And so we've got, okay, the whole thing is really starting to collapse in on itself. Let me erase and just have the radar to look at for a moment. Sorry, I got to go back and forth, folks. So this is our live radar. We don't have as much of a defined hook on the south side anymore. Also, and the hail is gone. It's still a wide area. The red indicates, and the darker red is definitely the heavier rainfall that we're dealing with. And then yellow is more moderate showers and green is light showers. And you saw from that camera a moment ago, there weren't any showers that are, we were looking right in this area with that camera that was just crossing the river and just heading further north to, the camera was pointed this direction, but the storm was off camera and continues to be so. It will be on camera, on that camera, that Caltrans camera we were looking at a moment ago. But right now, things are looking like that they're improving at least a little bit. It's still heavy rain. It still could produce heavy showers. Instantaneous flooding could be a problem. There could still be hail that's not even being picked up by radar. That could be dangerous. There could be strong winds. 58-mile-per-hour winds or even stronger that have been coming out of this potential storm. With the tornado, that might even be likely. So trees getting knocked down, roof tiles getting blown off, things that aren't nailed down can be taking a trip into the air. So be extra careful. If you're in the Madera Ranchos area, get inside right now. I'm going to go change a look at the camera again. Okay, aha. Yeah. Stay on that, Dino. What we're looking at, do you see that extension that goes a little bit further south? This is where it's trying, it really is trying to make a tornado. So some of this may be, now it's hard to tell by looking at it, but I can see, all right, come back, Dino. I can see some locations that are starting to rotate this way, and I see other clouds that are rotating this way. So there is movement, even that we can see on this camera, and it's extending further to the ground. I can see clouds getting closer together here and here. We might be witnessing the formation of a tornado even as we speak. Dino, take it full. So the area that we're looking at is to the north area of Shaw, and yeah, it might form something, and it might not. That's the way tornadoes behave. They're actually a fairly rare phenomenon. So we do have still officially a tornado warning that's in effect. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. I'm going to keep this in the view, but I'm going to go a little bit further to the north to see the heavier rain. That's where those dark gray areas are. And do you see that formation? Yeah, boy, it's really trying to make something of that protrusion that's now on the left side of your screen. You can see how it's falling. It looks like it's falling out of the clouds a little bit. One of the things about thunderstorms is in order to make a tornado, it really reaches close to the ground. It's practically sitting on the ground before it can actually make a tornado. The rest of it to the north, come back out here, Dino. All this gray area here, this is where the heavy rain is, and so when we get a phenomenon called being rain wrapped, you can't see. Could there be a tornado in this? Yeah, it's possible. But out here, this was the one that I was looking at because I was watching the formation. I could see some clouds going this way, and I could see some clouds going this way. So there is the potential for rotation that could end up with something on the ground there. But this is where the real action is as far as the heavy rain is concerned. All right, stay with this. I'm going to go back to the radar again. This will show us 1 hour's worth of a loop. I got to reset it and get in a little bit closer. There we go, the cell that we're looking at. And I'm going to click on now. Okay, I want to move that again. I know that they gave you a shelter in place at Clovis North. I think it's going to miss, but I'm not going to, negate what they're saying. So obviously stay in place in the Clovis North area. But our friends at Liberty High School should be inside by now also. And so, again, every place that's in the Madera Ranchos, Bonadelli Ranchos, Riverstone community. What's that new community up Tesoro Viejo? Right? That's the new one out there too. So they're not there yet. That's over on the west side of 41, and this system is still on the east side of 41. But everybody in this area needs to take cover now. It looks like in the city of Madera that you're safe, at least for the moment. The system itself has been moving on. So take cover, move to an interior basement, or move to a basement or an interior room, lowest floor of a sturdy building, get away from any windows. Cover yourself with a blanket or a mattress, crouch down, cover your head. If you're outdoors, in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Never take shelter under a highway overpass. If you can drive safely away from the tornado, that would be moving, if you're, say, on 41, at the San Joaquin River, start heading south, start going toward Fresno, and you'll be moving away from this system. Or if you're going to be moving to anything that's south and east of this cell, that would be the right direction to move away from this system. If you're trying to move to the north or east, it might be catching up to you, and so that's not necessarily a good idea. Quick recap, at 2:37, a confirmed tornado was located near Biola, 8 miles northwest of Fresno, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. With damaging tornado is what was seen by law enforcement. They confirmed it. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles might occur. Tree damage is likely. And now the cell itself is pretty well covering the entire Ranchos area, both Madera Ranchos and Bonadelli Ranchos, and headed for Friant next. Matt, do you have information?
There was just a code purple called at Children's Hospital, which means everybody to seek to the lowest, seek as low as possible as they can because of disaster.
A code purple at Valley Children's Hospital. That means everybody's going to the lowest level of the hospital and seeking shelter and being interior and doing all those safe things. I had never heard the phrase code purple before, but there you go. All right, so there. Dino, come back out here. Children's Hospital is right here. Right, right off of 41 at the river. In fact, you can see it just right here on the. I can see it actually from this display. So it's not exactly overhead just yet. Hang on. All right, what text am I getting? All of Clovis Unified is sheltering in place, and oh, somebody else is texting me a tornado warning. Thank you, viewers. I appreciate it. All right, so this is starting to, the tornado warning is still official until 3 p.m., so we still got about 5 minutes, a little more than 5 minutes left on that. Clovis, Dino, repeat that one. All Clovis Unified is shelter in place till further notice. Madera Ranchos, this is Bonadeli Ranchos up to the north. Madera Ranchos, Avenue 12 is right through this area. Riverstone area up around, and we had a code purple. That's a new one on me, but that's from Valley Children's Hospital where they're sheltering, getting away from window rooms, getting interior, getting low. And you should be doing the same thing if you're in any of this area. This is out by Highway, now it's finally past 99, it looks like. So out here, just past the river, this is, if you're familiar with it, it's APCAL, and then up towards Avenue 12, and then finally the city of Madera, some light showers, but the whole thing is starting to push away and still moving to the north and east at 15 miles per hour. Let me put a new time indicator on this one. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. And let me show you, let me click the loop again to see where it's going. This is 1 hour's worth, and that's, well, let's see. That looks to me to be a little bit faster than 15 miles per hour, but I'm going to start from there. That's more like 20, 25 miles per hour to me. So that means in Friant at 3:15, this cell is going to be coming your way. North Fork, a little before 4 o'clock. If you've ever heard of the community of Hildreth, it's also up into the foothills of Madera County. That'll hit at 3:30. There's a couple of, it's a fairly sparse community, but there are some homes there. Friant will be hitting, this cell will be hitting at 3:15. It's about 20 minutes from now. All right, so let me erase that again. Let me see. I'm going to set it to now. All right, so that's the latest frame. And one more thing I want to add, the watches and warnings. Now it's a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service. All right, let's see what they got to say about that. This has now been a severe thunderstorm warning. It's funny to say it's been downgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning. The red area is still there. That is, let's see, severe thunderstorm warning for South Central Madera County in Central California, Northwestern Fresno County, Central California until 3:30. Fine. At 2:54, severe thunderstorm located near Bonadeli Ranchos at 10 miles northwest of Fresno, moving to the northeast at 15 miles per hour. I think it's actually moving a little faster than that. That's me. Hazard 40-mile-per-hour winds and gusts of penny-sized hail. Radar indicated. Expect damage to roofs, siding, trees. Locations include Fresno, Bonadeli Ranchos, Madera Ranchos, Friant, Millerton Lake. Remain alert for possible tornadoes because even a severe thunderstorm can produce a tornado. Just because this one started to retreat a little bit doesn't mean it can't come back. For your protection, move to an interior room or the lowest floor of a building. So I think I'm going to call that a downgrade. But even that is still pretty serious. A severe thunderstorm warning now issued, I already forgot the time, to 3:30 p.m. All right, but we're going to cover this until we got a couple more minutes on the official tornado warning. Until that red box goes away, we're going to be with you. So this was the cell. It was closer to Biola. It's now moved on, and so the law enforcement actually were the ones who saw the tornado, identified, I assume that they identified a debris that was being kicked up at the ground and saw the funnel that reached all the way to that ground, and then they called the National Weather Service, who issued the warning just about 20 minutes after 2 o'clock this afternoon. The whole system has now moved on to the Ranchos area. This is north of the San Joaquin River. This squiggly line is the San Joaquin River, extending all the way up into Friant. Here's 41. This is 145. This is the area known as Four Corners. This is Friant. Up here is Table Mountain. It looks like it's staying north of the city of Fresno, even though Clovis Unified in entirety is in a shelter in place. And they're keeping the students inside until further notice. Thank you, Dino. So this system is continuing to push to the northeast. It's moving away from the city of Fresno. It's not going to be curving this direction. It's headed towards Friant. You guys are next. I said 3:15 is when that's going to be arriving, and it looks like that's going to be on schedule. Hey, Dino, do you still have that Caltrans camera that we were looking at earlier? Is that available? Okay. If you guys can find that, because that was right here, that camera location, and now we should start seeing, all right. Yep. And do you see, yeah, you can see the darkness there off into the distance. And do you see the camera shaking? All right, so the wind is strong in that area even as we speak. Let's see, the severe thunderstorm warning. In the rolling hills are here now. And okay, so sorry, somebody's texting me, asking me if there's a tornado, and I'm just texting back yes. Okay, so and I'm going to add the take cover now. Take cover inside. All right. Okay, I can see the rain obscuring the mountain off into the distance. You can clearly see the camera shaking a little bit. And this is now, okay, this is typical for this time of day. The north side of 41 gets busy where the two lanes come into one. This is just south of Avenue 12. And this off-ramp takes you to Valley Children's, which would be just over here. So that's the area that we're talking about. Give me my graphics back, Dino. There we go. That's the camera's right there. That's what we were just looking at. And so the darkness that we're showing is the, let's see, did we get a re-up? Oh, okay. It's still got 1 minute left on this tornado warning. The original tornado warning came to us at 2:19 today. That original warning reads as follows. Tornado warning for southwestern Madera County, and damaging tornado spotted by law enforcement. The flying debris is dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged, destroyed. That's all the stuff I've already repeated. So the whole thing has been moving off to the north, and there it went. All right, it went away. So I'll tell you what, we'll wrap up our coverage now. There was a tornado. It was confirmed on the ground. We showed you some of that storm from our own camera from our own Valley Cam. And, of course, the radar is still showing us some heavy rain. There still could be some strong winds. There could be localized flooding. There could be a lot of trouble that's coming our way. Oh, thanks, Dino. And, yeah, so this is, the camera's pointing a little bit to the north, but you can see that the storm is pulling further and further north away from Fresno. Clovis Unified is still under shelter-in-place rules. We'll let you know when those are going to be released. This is, again, a look at our live radar. And again, do you see now I got two separate red cells? This thing is falling apart. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to wrap up our coverage. Dino, thanks. Matt Morris got me information. Everybody that was helping out, really appreciate it. We're going to have a wrap-up about this coming up on KC 24-Hour News. KC 24-Hour News. How old am I? KC 24 News later on this evening. I think we'll take a commercial break or something like that. And then we got Central Valley Today coming back in just a minute. Folks.